Apple just released the iPhone SE 3. However, they forgot to mention,
actually they intentionally left out,
a lot of really important details about this phone. But to get the whole story, we need to go back to the iPhone SE 2, which was released in 2020.
The biggest complaint about the second generation iPhone SE was battery life. It has a small battery, it's a small phone, 1821 milliamp hours. And it's the same amount as the iPhone 8, which was the previous generation of the iPhone SE.
Yeah, so when Apple announced the iPhone SE 3, they said it'll have better battery life.
iPhone SE has even better battery life, with the efficiency of A15 Bionic, integration with iOS, our latest battery chemistry, and internal design updates.
So it is true the A15 Bionic chip will make it a more efficient phone, should cut down on battery life. Additionally, Apple said the battery is going to be bigger than the iPhone SE 2, but how much bigger we don't know, especially because the form factor is the same.
But that's not all.
But that's not the whole story. We need to go back even further.
Into the future. We need to talk about a great new feature of the iPhone SE 3, 5G.
Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit.
5G and battery life don't get along.
Nope.
5G is a battery drainer, especially in the newer phones. That's why there is smart data mode, because they know that the battery's going to drain quickly. So although the A15 is faster, and even if the battery's a little bit larger, it's not like they're going to make a miracle and stick a huge battery in there. Even if it's a little bit larger, it's still going to have problems with battery life. But that's not the whole story about 5G either, is it, David?
Yeah, Apple said it has 5G. What they didn't say is that it doesn't have millimeter wave 5G.
And we're bringing 5G to our most affordable iPhone.
Millimeter wave is the fastest 5G that they're always bragging about. It doesn't go through walls or windows, and it only works outside and very limited range. Blah. We don't love it, but I'm just saying here that they're saying it as 5G, but it doesn't have the same 5G as the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 13s do. It's not nearly as fast, and that's not even the whole story.
Well, we should also say, I mean, that might be good for battery life.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have the millimeter wave 5G.
Yeah, what I noticed about the phone, and the reason I actually went on Apple's website to look this up, aside from just being generally very smart, is that the shape of the phone is like the iPhone 8 and the iPhone 6, essentially. And I was thinking to myself, how are they going to stick the antennas, the high band antennas that are in the iPhone 12 behind this window here in the 13 in this phone? And the answer is they didn't.
They didn't.
They left them off the phone.
Yeah.
But that isn't the whole story either. Next, we're going to talk about MIMO, which stands for what, David?
Multiple input and multiple output.
So the way antennas work on phones now is that they have multiple antennas, and then they sort of combine the signals both in and out to get more bandwidth. The iPhone 12 and 13 have a 4x4 antenna array, so 4 in, 4 out. The iPhone SE 3 has a 2x2 array. Worked for Noah, but is it going to work for this phone? Not as well, not as fast. So the 5G on the iPhone SE 3 is just not nearly as fast.
But that's not the whole story.
But that's not all. If you want to stay up to date with the whole story, because we've said many times today that that's not the whole story, but we know the whole story, at least we think we do, and that's what we're here for. And if you want to subscribe to our channel, just saying, that would be really cool of you.
We also pre-ordered an iPhone SE 3 to try it out ourselves and get a hands-on experience. I almost feel like this phone came out 2 years too early because the C-band just isn't there yet. And I think the 5G battery issues combined with just the smaller battery are going to be a problem.
And if you didn't understand what he just said, definitely subscribe to our channel
Yes.
where we talk about things like C-band. Oh yeah, C-band's not there yet.
So let's talk about the physical battery of this phone for a second. So Apple did say it's going to be larger. They didn't say how much. The iPhone SE2 has an 1821 milliamp hour battery. We've seen some rumor mill websites say it'll be around 2200 milliamp hours. Not so sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's much bigger. But how do these batteries compare to the other iPhones that are in the lineups, like the iPhone 10, 11, 12, much smaller?
Yeah, so 2200 milliamp hours is 500 less than the iPhone 10, which came out a pretty long time ago. So it's a lot smaller than even some older iPhones.
Right, it's like 25% less almost.
Yeah.
But that's not the whole story either, is it, David?
Nope.
If you watched the event, you saw some very interesting graphics about the CPU performance and the GPU performance. But on that graph, something was missing. Let's see if you can find out what it is.
The 4-core GPU is great for graphics-intensive use cases and delivers a monumental improvement for people upgrading.
What's missing from this graphic is the iPhone SE2, the previous generation. How much faster is it than that phone?
1.2.
1.2 times faster. It is on Apple's website, so it's not like they're totally hiding it, but it would have been a much less impressive graph for the presentation if they actually had done that.
I mean, a lot of people aren't going to these specs pages like we are, though, and actually seeing, lining things up.
Well, we think, oh, that's fishy. There's something fishy about that.
Yeah.
And then we go and do some research, and sure enough, they can't lie.
Right.
It's a lie of omission rather than commission.
Yeah, and that's not even the whole story about this phone. There were some other things that we both noticed about this phone that it's lacking compared to newer phones. So, no ultra wideband for spatial awareness. That's used for directional AirTag tracking.
Right. If you want to track your own AirTags, people, your own, around like this and find them, can't do it.
Apple said that this iPhone has the strongest glass of any iPhone, which might be true, but it doesn't have ceramic shield.
It doesn't?
Nope.
Unbelievable. I thought that was it. I didn't think there was anything more.
Nope. Ceramic shield not with this phone.
Unbelievable.
Also, no MagSafe.
MagSafe is pretty cool. By this point, I think we should be getting it on all the phones, just saying.
So it feels like this phone is just kind of lazy. I actually watched MKBHD's video on this, and he pointed out that SE stands for Special Edition, but this is like the most predictable, bland phone ever. It's like, oh, iPhone SE2, we're gonna give it 5G and a slightly better battery, slap a $429 price on it, and call it a day.
What phone is this really? The iPhone 6S, S7, S8, S, SE2, S. So that's 6S.
It's not great.
It's the same as the iPhone 6, just a lot faster, different internal components.
Right. So we're not going to say don't buy this phone because we're actually going to take a look at it.
We're buying the phone.
We did buy the phone.
But we have an ulterior motive.
We're going to test it out and do some settings videos with it.
Yeah.
Don't upgrade your SC2 for this. It's not worth it.
No, it's not. And you might not even want to upgrade your iPhone 10 to this or anything like this. If you have an iPhone 10 or newer, or an SE2, not worth the upgrade. You know who else is not going to upgrade to this phone?
Sigrid G, Faith Schaafsma, D. Smith, it's the letter D.
Okay.
Donna Cannon, Rhonda Messer, and Sarah Hogg, all Payette Forward members. You can join them, get a shout out like this, and a lot more by clicking that join button below the video.
Yeah, we love our members. We did play Wheel of Fortune yesterday with members only and gave away $55 just yesterday in prizes to some very smart people.
Yeah.
Larry solved the puzzle with like 3 letters on it.
Yep, he sure did. Join this channel. If you don't want to go that far, please hit that subscribe button and look out for those iPhone SE3 videos coming up soon.
Thanks.
They said it has 5G. They didn't say that it doesn't include the millimeter. They said it has 5G. What they didn't say is that the iPhone SE3 doesn't have millimeter. I did it again. Millimeter.
But that's not the whole story about 5G either. But that's not the whole story about 5G either. See, I was so good before. Yeah.